I want to make sure everybody is choosing your graphics correctly. I had some minor issues, so I want to go over a few things. First thing is, if you're going to do a Google search on an object, let's say I do a search on turtle, I go in here and I click on images. I want you to realize that if you want something more specific, maybe you want a drawing or an animated graphic, we do have other options up here. I also want you to understand that in your Google search, you have tools over here at the right-hand side. Within this frame, we can go down here and search for size. A lot of times for the things that we're doing, you might want to make sure that this is on large, okay, because we're looking for large, high-quality images. So that way, if I hover over, let's say, maybe I click on this one, I can see that I do have the whole turtle. That's important. Not all of these have the whole turtle. So like on this turtle, this part of his fin is cut off. That might not be something I want. So once I decide maybe that this is the turtle, if I hover over this, it's going to tell me how big this image is. 1400 by 933. Obviously that is in pixels, not inches. I do need you to realize if I go over here and I right click on this thumbnail and I hit save image as, I'm going to put it into my desktop. I have a graphics. It's going to call it download. The reason it's called download is it is a thumbnail. I am actually going to add the word turtle just to show you this. And so it says download turtle.jpg. If I hit save, and then I go over here and I right click on this image and I hit save image as. Now notice that this time it gave me an actual name. And this is a WEBP, which is a web protected, but it will open up in Photoshop. So I am going to actually get rid of that. And I'm just going to keep the .WEBP. And I'm going to hit, in my graphics, I'm going to hit save. Now the reason I wanted to do that is I want to go in here and I want you to see the file size different. If anything is under 10 kilobytes, it is going to be extremely small, something that you do not want. If I go to this turtle and I double click on him, you can see how high of a quality image this is. If I double click on the download turtle, you're going to see a very tiny, tiny image. Even in preview, if I zoom in on this, you can see how pixelated it is. That's why it's so incredibly important that you are selecting the right image. So make sure you're on this big image, not the thumbnail. The next thing I want to mention is you are not guaranteed that these are royalty free. Okay, so if you're looking for something that you can use and that you can use it without worrying about license, for obviously for educational purposes, we are okay. But sometimes we really, most of the time, if you are doing this in a job, you really want to worry about usage rights. Now in here, we also can look for Common Creative or Creative Commons license, which typically are royalty free. But again, you're going to want to go to each one of these websites and verify. And then commercial and other license. These you probably might have to buy. Again, you could go in here, go to the particular website, and then you might have to do some searches and find out whether or not that is a royalty-free image. Most of the time, if it's under commercial, it is going to be something that you will have to purchase. Last thing I want to mention is there are sites out there that do have a lot of royalty-free images. Unsplash is a good one. Pixabay is another good one, or Pexels, either one of those. So let's say I go in here, and this time I'm going to search for turtle again. Make sure, again, you are on all images. The nice thing about some of these sites is once you find your image, let's say I want this image. Okay, so maybe I find this image. I can go over here, and it's going to tell me information about it. I can click on download, and I can choose the quality that I want. And again, depending on what you're doing, you might want to choose the highest quality. So again, pay very close attention to your image quality. Typically in any of these sites, What you would want to also do is to make sure that you go in here and you find their content license. Read it, okay? Understanding what you can and cannot do to images, and what you can and cannot use is very important. So make sure that you always read the licensing agreement.